This is the Black Views, bringing you today the Black News. And once again today, this is the news. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring you another video, another fine example of coonery in America. This is a video of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker is participating in the HR 40 committee research group. I guess they want to have people talk and give their opinions or whatever. But for some reason, they invited Herschel Walker. Now, before I speak on this, I'm not going to speak too much on it at first, but I'm going to show you the video so you can see for yourself, and then I will come back with commentary. But before that, I just want to say a couple words. Why do they go out and get the most bootlicking, shoe shining Negroes that they can find to testify? This kills me. Herschel Walker doesn't represent a goddamn thing that is black. Okay? And anybody black knows that. So why would you bring him to talk before the HR 40 commission? And I'm not going to talk about what he said until after you hear what he said. So here it is. Here's the video. Once again, this is Herschel Walker talking about HR 40. Stand by.
This opportunity to speak on reparation, which has been spoken about many times over my lifetime, but over the past year has become a hot topic. I asked the question why. There's been many surveys show that a large percentage of black and white teens would say racism is better today than yesterday. We use black power to create white guilt. My approach is biblical. How can I ask my Heavenly Father to forgive me if I can't forgive my brother? I never want to put anyone's religion down, but my religion teaches togetherness. Reparation teaches separation. Slavery ended over 130 years ago.
I'm back.
How can a father be asked his son to spend prison time for a crime he committed? In the case we speak of, we're researching farther back in history, a history many are not taught or spoken about in school. America is the greatest country in the world to me. A melting pot of a lot of great races, a lot of great minds that have come together with different ideas to make America the greatest country on earth. Many have died trying to get into America. No one is dying trying to get out. Reparation, where will the money come from? Does it come for all the other races except the black taxpayers? Who is black? What percentage of black must you be to receive reparation? Do you go to 23andMe or a DNA test to determine the percentage of blackness? Some American ancestors just came to this country 80 years ago. Their ancestor wasn't even here during slavery. Some black immigrants weren't here during slavery, nor their ancestors. Some states didn't even have slavery. We as black Americans have always wanted what the Constitution stated: all men, black, white, and today Latino, Asian, Italian, etc., should be guaranteed the alienability rights of life, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. Years later, after slavery ended, Dr. King, I Have a Dream speech, said, the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation was a great beacon of light. But hundreds of years later, we're still not free because of segregation and discrimination. Today, I call that reparation. I asked my mom, who is in her mid-80s, her thought on reparation. Her words, I do not believe in reparation. Who is the money going to go to? Has anyone thought about paying the families who lost someone in the Civil War, who fought for their freedom? Your dad and I taught you, speaking of me, to provide for you and your family through a good education and hard work. If you give a man a fish, you feed him a day. You teach him to fish, you feed him a lifetime. Reparation is only feeding you for a day. It's removing the sign of for whites only, replacing the sign for no education here. Black America is asking for a hand up, not a handout. Another big question, who is the guilty party? Should we start at the beginning where African Americans sold the African American ancestors into slavery and to a slave trader who eventually sold the African American ancestors to slave owners? The slave owners who had no success and no luck trying to make a Native American whose land they took become their slave because the Native American ran away. Well, they thought it was fine then to use African American who didn't know the country, didn't know the language, didn't know the religion, and they didn't run away. So I asked, why reparation? Well, slavery is because to the year 2021, still talking about reparation, not equal education, not to compare a game to a horrible period in my life, but as I fought shoulder to shoulder with my fellow football brothers of other races, I saw struggles they were encountering the same as I. And I heard them speak to their parents of problems my family were dealing with as well. If a black player would have been given something different than any other player, it would have created problems within the team, separation and division. Ezekiel 18:20, the righteousness of the right shall be upon him. The son shall not suffer for the crime of the father, nor the father suffer the crime of the son, unless either father or son know beforehand the father or son was a criminal. To help any race, provide them with a good quality education and help incentivize through opportunities with responsibilities, which helps generations in the future. If reparation is a fee or a correction for a terrible sin of slave owners, government, and others, but we punish the non-guilty party, is it not creating division or separation with different races? I feel it continues to let us know we're still African American rather than just American. Reparation or atonement is outside the teaching of Jesus Christ, who will not be teaching the word of God. So I speak back.
Yo, brothers and sisters, I can't listen to no more of that. I know it was a little bit lengthy, but I thought that it was very important that you heard all of that. You had to hear all of that because a person like this hates black people. This is a Decepticon. He's among us, look like us, but he's deceptive in being this is what we would call a black white supremacist. Once again, what a white supremacist does is he always creates and makes himself a victim. And so what he's doing is he's making white people or other groups victims because as a group we're asking foundational black Americans, are trying to get what we are owed. Okay, this ain't a handout. This not a hand up. Give us the profits that you have been hiding, that you have been holding on to, that you have been giving to other groups, that you have been using for COVID-19 payments. Give us those profits that you got from the hard work that our ancestors had done before us. I mean, this person has a problem. Something is wrong with him. Okay, him and Larry Elder. I don't want to hear shit from Larry Elder. Okay, once again, these are people that went to school with you. Okay, that detached themselves from you. Okay, you know, when everybody was talking about shoes and clothes and talking about how bad yours look and how good yours look, this was the guy that was trying to get past you because of his insecurities. That's Herschel Walker. Okay, mind you. Look from where he is making his speech from. Look at his background. Look behind him. Okay, in vanity of telling you that other blacks do not deserve reparation, he's living in a mansion. Do you see how spiteful this is? In your face. Okay, he makes others victims for us trying to repair our communities, repair our legacies. I mean, they always go out and get the most weirdest person to testify. They go out and get the oddest individual to testify on our behalf as if he's speaking for black people, right? So when the naysayers, the people that are saying exactly what Herschel Walker is saying, they're going to see it being said from a person, a black person, okay, a foundational black American, and they're going to say, see, they don't need it. Look, Herschel Walker's saying it. All they need is education. All they need is equality. Slim, we do not care about equality at this point in time right now. We need capital. Capital will make us equality. Give us what we are owed. Policies will give us equality. Not just how you feel. I mean, and just to think how small of a mind that this individual has to just believe that it's cash payments, that reparation is just us sending a check here or sending a check there. I mean, how small the inability that he can't even think about how reparations could repair his own people that he obviously can see that are not doing well. But instead, he says, where is this coming from? Where is the money coming from? You're goddamn right it's going to come from every other group that's here because they're all enjoying the benefits. The benefits of having a nation, a country with paved roads, beautiful landscapes, beautiful forests, beautiful creeks, all the things that foundational Americans slaved over, okay? A debt is owed, man. Then he has the nerve to say, well, because the Indians couldn't be slaves because they knew where to run, and because the Africans didn't know nothing, they were here. Like, how ignorant. This is an individual that knows not of his own history. He wants to give you a Bible passage when there are actually Bible passages that says, prepare slaughter for the iniquities of your father. Like, basically, there are Bible passages that say, hey, it's time to get down because guess what? Your daddy did this. And he comes right around with a passage as if that is the only passage in the Bible that says, forgive your brother. This is so dangerous to the black community because there are youths, there are NFL athletes and professionals and so forth that will look at this guy and say, hey, turn your back on your own people. Like, people don't think, even in the Bible, it tells of leadership. It tells of those that come from poverty that grew into leadership to lead their people. But he speaks of the Bible as if that's just for us to be stupid. It's just for us to be, be languished. As if for us just to grind away. He asks, who and what percentage is black are you? I mean, wait a minute. There's been other atrocities in the world that they have somehow found a way to pay these individuals cash payments. And there is not one individual out here that's talking bad about that, that's getting on national television and saying that these other communities that enjoy reparations from the United States in particular, they don't deserve it. And nor will he open his mouth to. So you see how backwards our shit is, where our so-called leaders don't speak up to protect our legacy, but we actually have celebrities. Now Herschel Walker hasn't done a shit for anybody that's black. In my lifetime, I've seen him run the ball. He ran the ball well, but he's a mule. He's a tool, a mule. Okay. He is buck broken. He is the Mandingo man. He is the one that the owner looks at and he said, that's my man right there. And that's what he's doing right now. Just listen to the rhetoric of how he talks. It sounds so backwards. It sounds as if, once again, like the other guy running for governor over there saying he wants to get rid of Black History Month. It just sounds like they have these conversations with people, okay, Democrats in particular, okay, that wind them up. Okay, they wind them up. And they put them out there. They make them see something that's not there. Oh, it's not fair to the other groups that are here. Why should we just why should we just get our own payments for our slavery? I mean, that's not fair. That happened hundreds of years ago. Damn you, Herschel Walker. Damn you, man. And so I named Herschel Walker Decepticon. Decepticon, because he lays right in front of you. And those that are not black will look at him and say, hey, that looks like a successful black man. Let's listen to him. You know, he's dressed well, nice, properly groomed. He's educated. Let's listen to what he has to say. And then he gets up there and say, you don't need reparation. And then another guy, Larry Elder, says, yeah, you finish high school, don't have babies. They don't even have a how should I say uh, um, an idea for you, a plan for you. I mean, no suggestive anything. They didn't refer to any other plans or schedules that could assist those. No, they just say no to reparations. That tells you that there's someone that's pushing their buttons. See, whenever there's someone that says no and gives no alternative, as if they really care, as if they're really giving an effort to what they're actually saying, that, you know, some people will give you alternative. I say no, and I say no because of this, but here, this is what we can do to correct it. No, there's nothing. It's just no. And they talk in a way as if those that want reparations are out of their goddamn mind. And that's how they're trained to speak. Remember now, if you look at his background there, you see he's in a mansion. How dare you, Herschel Walker? Like, this goes to show that they think that you are stupid. They think that you and I are stupid. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. Because neither one, both were irresponsible to me, and both of them had nothing that they wanted to offer black people. There's nothing there. And I could tell you how, because all the people that sat there and said, no, Biden's our man. You a Trump supporter because you're talking bad about Trump. Well, look at it. Look what we have, nothing. No protection. He can't even say, hey, you know what I'm saying, let's protect the legacy of African Americans. No, you just get a mall, you get a museum on the mall, countless basketball players and football players, and that's what we'll be known for: basketball, football. Then the African will come along and say, no, they're Africans. They weren't. There'll be an argument 100 years from now. No, they're all Africans. The slaves died off right after slavery, because that's what they're trying to say now. Like you weren't here 100 years ago. You don't know what it was like in slavery. So basically, they didn't have any children. They didn't have any nothing. They just all died on the plantation, and that's how they're trying to sell it. And that's how they get these bootlicks to come out here and make it seem like, even all the immigrants, Africans, like we all just one group and shit. You see what I'm saying? And so those that have means are looking at the other ones and saying, no, they just don't have their shit together. They're just not trying. And so for every coon, a bootlick that you see out here, he's the one that's trying to spin to the masses that, no, these are just underachievers. These people that live in these communities and that are going through what they're going through. Hey, they could have went to school. They had opportunities just like me. And so that's the pitch that they're putting out here. And I need you young people to know the difference. I need you to know the difference between somebody that's sincere about what they're saying and somebody that's just trying to get airtime to let the enemy know, the white supremacists know that they're on point and that, hey, I got the word for you, so you can go ahead and give me the Coca-Cola. Cause watch, you'll see after this, he'll be in commercials. He'll be in some kind of something. And I'm gonna show you a little piece of footage, like right after I finish talking, so you can kind of understand, where I'm coming from with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at this. Please like and subscribe. At the same time, I'm angry. I try to speak in a way that I'm not using a bunch of cuss words, or I'm not being disrespectful to my community. But at the same time, sometimes, I get pissed, man, when I see shit like this. Because the truth is not getting airtime. And so that's why we ask for your support. Okay? We ask for your support to keep us alive, to keep us going, to circulate the message, Share it. Somebody can hear it. You might already know about it, but share it. Thank you. and have a great day. This is Black Views bringing you the Black News. And stand by for this additional footage.
I don't like cheering at a game, and he said, no, competitive cheer. And I'm like, what? Like, what is that?
Herschel Walker is an NFL legend, but his teenage son, Christian, decided last year that instead of picking up a football,
let's go, Christian, let's go!
He wanted to fly.
Let's go!
It feels like you're flying, but then you land and you just want to do it again, and that's what really drew me to cheerleading.
You never felt like I'm going to disappoint my dad if I don't follow in his footsteps and play football?
No, he's always encouraged me to do what I need to do, so that's what I've done.
At first, Walker was baffled. In Dallas, he played on a team with the most famous cheerleaders in the world. Christian was talking about competitive cheering, something entirely different.
I didn't know what that was. Then he's, oh no, people turning flips and all this stuff, dance and all this. And I came out to see it. And I saw how athletic the kids were that was doing it. I was shocked, and I was shocked at the amount of people. I was like, geez, I didn't realize it was that big of a sport. And I was proud that he was doing it.
And 1, 2.
In recent years,
5, 6,
competitive
7,
cheering
8.
has exploded in popularity. Last year, the American Medical Association designated it a sport.
Hold it, good, y'all, hold it!
It takes strength, flexibility, focus, and above all, teamwork. In other words, a lot like football. But the NCAA so far is refusing to call it a sport, and the stigma about boys in cheerleading persists. In the last 3 years, 3 teenage boys have committed suicide after being bullied for cheering.
When everyone first found out about me cheerleading, or like my dad's fans, they were really critical.
What did they say?
Well, just like the derogatory comments about just even my appearance, and like it just seemed like they had a stereotype about cheer, that it was just for females.